The Jewish Encyclopedia, published 1901 to 1906, does indeed discuss the connection between the peoples of Gog and Magog and the Khazars, reflecting both medieval Jewish traditions and interpretations circulating at the time. Key points from the Jewish Encyclopedia. 1. Biblical and apocalyptic origins. Gog and Magog are originally biblical figures and nations mentioned in Ezekiel, chapters 38-39, and later in apocalyptic literature. They are depicted as nations from the far north who will attack Israel in the end times. 2. Medieval Jewish tradition. In the Middle Ages, Jewish writers and travelers often tried to identify Gog and Magog with actual peoples or nations known to them. The Jewish Encyclopedia notes that, according to some Jewish traditions, the barbarous nations of the far north, particularly those beyond the Caucasus, were associated with Gog and Magog. 3. Connection to the Khazars. The Jewish Encyclopedia specifically mentions that in some medieval Jewish sources, the Khazars, a Turkic people who established a powerful kingdom north of the Caucasus, and whose ruling class converted to Judaism, were identified with the peoples of Gog and Magog. This identification is found in the writings of Jewish travelers such as Petachia of Regensburg and Benjamin of Tudela, who described the Khazar lands as being those of Gog and Magog. The encyclopedia states, "The name Gog and Magog was applied to the wild peoples of the north, especially the Khazars, by the Jews of the Middle Ages." 4. Legends and folklore. The association was partly based on the legend that Alexander the Great had built a wall to confine the uncivilized peoples of Gog and Magog, and that the Khazars were believed to live beyond this barrier. Summary. The Jewish Encyclopedia records that, in medieval Jewish tradition and folklore, the Khazars were sometimes identified with the apocalyptic peoples of Gog and Magog, nations expected to play a role in the events preceding the Messianic era. This connection was not based on historical or biblical evidence, but rather on the geographical imagination and apocalyptic expectations of the time. References: Jewish Encyclopedia, Gog and Magog, https www.jewishencyclopedia.com, articles 6740, Gog and Magog, Jewish Encyclopedia, Khazars, https www.jewishencyclopedia.com, articles 9326, Khazars.